Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom.
We're talking today about some technology. We're actually in the unit called Research. We're talking about how high-tech has actually managed to change the way we think, our brains, which isn't surprising because nowadays it seems like we have a piece of electronic equipment attached to our body, which would be our phones in particular. We're going to talk about how having that easy tool and that access to the internet is changing the way we remember things, which is scary.
Right, and you can decide whether this is a good thing or a bad thing yourself. So let's get to it, everybody. Let's read the entire contents of our lesson one time.
You're watching a movie and can't remember the name of the lead actress, so you look it up on your phone. After the movie is over, a friend asks who played the main character, and you realize you've already forgotten her name. Do you often forget something immediately after looking it up? If so, you're not alone. Digital technology is not only changing the way we live and work, but also changing the way we think, learn, and remember. Since we are confident in our ability to look up what we want to know, we don't make an effort to memorize things, such as phone numbers or addresses anymore. In fact, so common are smartphones and the internet that they have become secondary extensions of our memory. All we need to remember now is where the information is and how we can acquire it. Technology has the benefit of making information easy to access, and unlike human brains, has an unlimited capacity to store data. Despite these advantages, however, research has shown that it also decreases our abilities to remember details or focus deeply on what we are experiencing. In one study, participants stated that they used to enjoy reading for pleasure, but could no longer concentrate on books. Instead, they preferred just scanning online text. Another study allowed participants to take photos of exhibits in a museum. Researchers discovered that people remembered fewer details about the objects they had photographed and more details about the ones they hadn't. Scientists are still investigating how remembering things differently will affect our brains in the long run. To live in this rapidly changing world, we need to learn how technology can improve our experiences and how it can inhibit them.
Okay, everybody, it's time for us to discuss the content of today's lesson. We're kind of answering the question, how is technology changing our brains? Well, we'll try to answer that. We'll try to tell you how technology is changing our brains. Notice there, the title of our article for today is a statement and not a question, even though it starts with a question word, how. Tell me how you are doing. If you want to ask a question, you say, hey, how are you doing? Well, I'll tell you how I am doing. But here we are trying to answer the question, hey, how is technology changing our brains? Is it changing our brains for the better or for the worse? Well, here's a possible scenario here. You're watching a movie and can't remember the name of the lead actress, so you look it up on your phone. Yes, I've done this before.
Totally.
I'm watching this movie and I know that woman. I've seen her before. All I got to do is turn on my smartphone, look up the title of this movie that I'm watching, and it will list the main characters and main actors in the movie. Oh, yes, that's who it is. It's Julia Roberts. I should have known.
I do it all the time. And I have a favorite website I go to. I always go to imdb.com. It's a database of movies and TV shows. And I spend a lot of time on that, just looking up what people are doing, how their careers are going. So that's kind of what most of us have had an experience of. You can't remember the name of either the lead actress means the actress that has the starring role, or the lead actor. Who's the lead? we'll often just shorten it to who's the lead. Who are the leads in that movie? If you hear that, they're talking about the actors and the actresses. And nowadays, actresses are calling themselves actors too. So be careful. Some of them don't want to be an actress. They just want to be an actor. So after the movie is over, a friend asks you, hey, who played the main character in the movie? And you realize, oh my goodness, I've already forgotten her name. Sometimes when we look up information, we're not looking at it in order to memorize it. We just want to simply, get a quick look. Oh, yeah. And then it kind of fades away. It doesn't stay in our memory. If you want to memorize something, you actually have to, I think, focus on it in order to memorize it. At least that's what I found to be true with me.
Yep, you have to think hard. You have to use your brain in order to remember that name. But in this particular case, you looked up the name on your phone, and then you had the name, and then moments later, you forgot all about it.
Poof, it's gone, yeah.
Yeah, poof, it's gone like clouds in the sky. But do you often forget something immediately after looking it up? Yes, I do that all the time, especially when I'm trying to learn new vocabulary terms for different languages. Poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, if so, you're not alone. This, of course, is common if you do look something up and you can't remember it right away. But we're talking specifically here about looking things up on the internet, especially with your smartphone. And does that create a situation in which the information is easily forgotten? We're trying to answer that question. So let's move on now to the next paragraph here. It says, digital technology is not only changing the way we live and work, but also changing the way we think, learn, and remember. So here we've got digital, which in Chinese I believe is 数位. So it basically just represents using signals and information, using values, like 0 and 1, etc. Bits.
That's the computer programming. But if you see digital, there's an easier thing to remember. It just means related to computer technology.
Yeah, or digit, I think, in actually Latin or French means fingers, because we would count on our fingers, our digits. But this is digital technology, computers, smartphones, etc. It's changing the way we live and work, but also changing the way we think, how we learn, and how we remember. Okay, now, since we are confident in our ability to look up what we want to know, we don't make an effort to memorize things such as phone numbers or addresses anymore. So if somebody tells you their phone number, for example, you don't really try to remember it. It's actually probably in your phone memory.
Oh, no. You know what I do? I hand them my phone and I say, just enter your phone number here.
Or usually they just pick it up when you send them something. Or you scan their code. If you connect with Line with somebody, you just show that little code. You never have to memorize anything. Just have your phone there.
So lazy.
And you're all set.
True.
So I guess some people are going to be thinking, so what? If we're using our phones for everything, then we don't have to waste all that time memorizing stuff. We're actually free to do other things. People might argue that.
I have worried, though, in the past, if I lose my phone, how am I going to get in touch with anybody?
Well, it'll all be on the cloud.
Yeah, okay? But I need to at least learn a couple of really important numbers. I would actually encourage all of us to learn a couple of phone numbers by heart. Oh, that's funny.
So that's why we keep those numbers instead of using our smartphones all the time. But in any case, yes, it's changing the way we learn, think, and remember. And since we are confident, here the word confident means you're sure of yourself. Of course, we want to be confident in our lives, especially if you're a guy trying to impress a girl. My understanding is that if you're confident, the girls will be more willing to listen to what you have to say than if you're kind of shy and insecure. They probably won't have anything to do with you. But if you're confident, not just in dating, of course, but in all situations, in all relationships, if you're confident, people like you better.
It's important to get some self-confidence. It's true. You want to be sure that you know what you're doing. I think even people who appear to always be very self-confident or to have a lot of confidence, inside they might not feel so confident. Sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. Have you heard that phrase before? You kind of appear to look more confident than you feel inside, and that's okay too. So since we're pretty confident in our ability to just, get on our smartphone or the computer again and look up what we can't remember, a lot of us don't make any effort at all to memorize that information. Things like phone numbers or addresses anymore. If you memorize something, you commit it to memory.You learn something by heart. As kids in the United States, we'd have poems or songs assigned to us that we needed to learn by heart.
Right.
It just meant to memorize it. I think we say learn by heart because it sounds a lot sweeter and more fun than to memorize.Yeah,
I know all the lyrics to the Rolling Stones songs by heart.
Really?
I'm a big fan. No, I don't. It's just an example. But some people may say that, I know all the lyrics to Taylor Swift's song. I've memorized them. I know them by heart.
Oh, these days, at least in the States, everybody's saying, I know the lyrics to Hamilton by heart, which is a Broadway musical that's really popular. It's lots of rap, so you have to learn a lot of words in a small amount of time. It's kind of fun to challenge yourself that way, though.
Yeah, memorizing rap songs is kind of difficult. My goodness, there's a lot to memorize there.
Goes fast.
Of course, here in Taiwan, people tell me that, yes, when I was in school, we had to memorize Tong poems. Or when I was in high school, we had to memorize T.S. Eliot poems. Or whoever, Shakespeare or whatever.
It's good for you.
People don't really try hard to memorize phone numbers or addresses anymore because they're on our phone. Why bother? And in fact, so common are smartphones and the internet that they have become secondary extensions of our memory. So here we got a pattern here. So common are something that, therefore, okay, so we could also say that because smartphones and the internet are so common, therefore, they have become secondary extensions of our memory. Basically, they have replaced our memory, and we don't really need to use our brain anymore. We just use our fingers to look stuff up. So common are smartphones. Because they're so common, we don't have to really memorize things anymore.
They've become secondary extensions of our memory. Secondary means they're not the most important to us. They're number 2 in importance, you could say. And an extension of your memory is something that is kind of connected to your memory, but it's not your primary brain, you could say. They are like connected to people's hands, that's for sure.
Yeah, I could say as an example here, so handsome is James that he always has a girlfriend. He's never had trouble with that at all because he is so handsome. So that brings us to the midway point in our lesson for today. Let's take a break right now and listen to our Chinese teacher.Hello
everyone, my name is Tina. 我们首先来看到在第一段的第二个句子提到 After the movie is over, a friend asks who played the main character. And you realize you've already forgotten her name. 在这里描述的呢是电影结束之后，朋友问你谁饰演主角，结果你发现你已经忘记了他的名字。我们可以看一下第一题，可以选择 C 选项。Sentence C 提到 Do you often forget something immediately after looking it up? 在这里讲到的是 forget something immediately.很快的就忘记某个事情，才刚刚查过就忘记了，那用这样子的句子来回应前面句子的内容，才能够造成语义上面的连贯。所以第一题的标准答案我们就选择 C 选项。接着呢，在这里提到数位的科技改变了我们的生活跟工作的方式。在第二段的中间提到，从 since 开始，这个句子的后半句提到We don't make an effort to memorize things such as phone numbers or addresses anymore. 正因为科技的帮忙，所以呢，我们已经不太努力去记住事情。记哪些事呢？像是别人的电话号码或者是地址呢，我们几乎都不太努力去记它了。承接这样子的文意，第二题我们可以选择 Sentence F。F 选项里面提到 In fact, so common are smartphones and the internet that they have become secondary extensions of our memory. 因为前面在讲到呢，我们不太努力记事情，正因为呢，智慧型手机跟网络是如此的普遍common， 以至于呢，它已经成为我们记忆的次要延伸了。在这里的 secondary extensions of our memory 指的呢，就是我们的 记忆次要延伸，所以就用来回应前面提到的，我们就不太努力去记地址或电话号码了。所以搭配文意，第二题的标准答案，我们就选择 F 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to our lesson for today. We're talking about how digital technology is changing our brains. Of course, the technology changes the way we live and work, but it also changes the way we think. We are confident that we can look stuff up on the internet, that we don't bother to memorize things. And smartphones are so common are smartphones, that they have basically replaced our brains. And all we need to remember now is where the information is and how we can acquire it. Okay, so yes, who is the leading actress in that movie? Just key in the information in a Google search window there, or wherever you kind of have an idea of which app you can use or where you can find that information, and bingo, voila, you've got it. You don't have to memorize anything.
So, moving on to the next paragraph, technology has the benefit of making information easy to access. Access here just means easy to reach, easy to get to. And unlike human brains, has an unlimited capacity to store data. So if you have unlimited something, it just means you aren't restricted in any way. Maybe you have unlimited credit on a credit card, which means you could buy and buy and buy and never run out of credit. Some people have that. I don't. Also, here it has capacity, which just means how much something stores. Or it doesn't have to be an object. It could be a person. Oh, she has a lot of capacity to help people, or she has a lot of capacity to serve others. So the maximum amount that something can contain, or the maximum amount something someone can do, or kind of personality traits. He has a capacity. He has a capacity for generosity, something like that. But here we're talking about how big something is, how much it can hold. Capacity. We'll often use it to talk about liquid. This has a 2-gallon capacity, which means this particular container can hold 2 gallons of water.
Or what is the capacity of your gas tank in your car? How much gasoline can you put in your car at one time, etc.? So yes, technology, computers can store as much data, as much information as you want. Despite these advantages, however, research has shown that it also decreases our abilities to remember details or focus deeply on what we are experiencing. So yes, even though we can look everything up on the internet and we can relax and not worry about memorizing things, still, it means we can't remember details, which could be useful for our brains. Remember, you have to keep exercising your brain, and you can't focus deeply on what you're experiencing if you have a great experience, like if you go to Iceland, for example, and look at the northern lights, for example. You might be too busy trying to film them with your phone, and then you'll realize, hey, I missed it. I didn't actually see them. I was looking at the screen of my phone the whole time. Yeah, put that phone down and use your eyes to look at stuff. You'll remember a lot more that way.
In one study, people who participated in the study, stated that they used to enjoy reading for pleasure, picking up a book and reading it because that was their entertainment for the weekend or the entertainment for the night, but could no longer concentrate on books because of their phones. Everything on your phone is very quick and short, and we often don't get a lot of time to even look at our phone, especially if we're, at work at the same time. You can't just keep looking at your phone. So people's ability to focus and concentrate has been reduced. We know that's true for kids for sure, especially because of video games. So if you concentrate on something, guys, it just means you use all of your power to focus on one thing. You pay attention to one particular thing or maybe an activity. So that's kind of sad because books are important in this world.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we had to read books, but nowadays, if you read a book, your smartphone is not too far away, and just every 5 minutes or so, you probably just can't help yourself. Oh, I got to check Facebook to see how many likes I got from my last post. Oh, I just got to go to Line to see if I got some more messages. Yeah, you just can't concentrate on those books anymore because of the distraction of technology. You can't focus or concentrate on those books. The noun form there is concentration, but yes, concentrate. If you're trying to memorize new vocabulary, you need to concentrate. Focus all your attention on that one thing. So instead, they preferred just scanning online texts. Yeah, I know what that's all about. When you're thumbing through various Facebook texts, you don't read the whole thing that somebody posts, right?
I took Facebook off my phone because I was wasting too much time on it. Yeah.
I don't have it on my phone because my memory is taken up by my Japanese dictionary and my Chinese dictionary and my Spanish dictionary. So thank goodness there's no room on my phone for Facebook, but I can still get there going through Google. But I still try to limit myself to maybe like just 2 or 3 times a day to check Facebook, and no more than 5 minutes each time. So yes, they just like to scan that online text. You just kind of look it over and think, is this something that I want to focus on or read? Maybe not. I'll thumb to the next thing, etc. So another study here allowed participants to take photos of exhibits in a museum. So go to a museum and take photos of the exhibits there. An exhibit, of course, is something that is on display in a museum, usually in a museum, an exhibit. There might be exhibits at a trade show or something like that, but here we're using the word exhibit to refer to works of art on display in a museum or in a gallery.
Right. I used to go down, when I lived in New York City, I used to go down on the east side and check out the new exhibits that were coming to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Most museums trade exhibits with other countries, other museums. So you should always find out what the new exhibits are here in Taiwan. We've got a great museum that often has new exhibits. So you want to check that out. Now, researchers discovered by doing this research on exhibits, they discovered that people remembered fewer details about what they were seeing, the objects they had photographed, than the ones they hadn't photographed. So they remembered more about what they were looking at if they didn't have their camera in front of their eyes and taking a picture. So that's very interesting. I think sometimes you think, oh, if I get a picture, I don't have to worry so much about memorizing everything about that little object now. But sadly, it kind of diminishes or decreases your enjoyment of the museum if you're busy taking too many photos. A lot of museums won't let you take photos or pictures, and that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I noticed that at the Keith Haring exhibition a couple of years ago, people were just taking pictures of everything and not really looking at the stuff. So I kind of felt sorry for them. But in any case, researchers did discover that people remembered fewer details about the objects they had photographed and more details about the ones they didn't take pictures of.
Yeah.
So scientists are still investigating how remembering things differently will affect our brains in the long run, okay, over a long period of time. To investigate, of course, means to gather information in order to find the answer to some question. You might investigate a crime, for example. Gee, who committed this murder? We need to investigate the crime. And to live in this rapidly changing world, we need to learn how technology can improve our experiences and how it can inhibit them. Inhibit is kind of the opposite to improve. It just means to slow things down or
prevent it, yeah.
Or get in the way.
Get in the way, yeah. So think about that a little bit. I think this is some interesting research for all of us to kind of pay attention to. I'm going to remember this myself because we all need our brains to keep remembering things, especially as we get older.
Or we'll be senile when we're older, so keep that in mind.
Right now we're going to listen one more time to our Chinese teacher.
接着在第3段的一刚开始提到 Technology has the benefit of making information easy to access. And unlike human brains, has an unlimited capacity to store data. 在这里的主词提到的是 technology， 科技它的好处 benefit 在这里是一个重要的关键字。有什么好处呢？它的好处就是让我们觉得呢，这些资讯很容易就 access 取得，并且跟人类大脑不同的是，科技其实有 unlimited capacity， 无限的容量呢，可以来储存这些的记忆，储存这些资料 data。 延续这样子的文意，第三题我们可以选择 sentence D。D 选项里面提到 Despite these advantages, however, research has shown that it also decreases our abilities to remember details or focus deeply on what we are experiencing. 前面的句子提到科技的好处 benefit， 后面则是来个语义的大转折 Despite these advantages， 尽管有这样子的好处呢，研究却显示其实科技也降低了我们记住细节或者认真专注于我们正在经历的事物的能力。所以用这样子的呢来 advantages 来搭配承接前面的 benefit。第三题的标准答案我们就选择 D 选项。接着后面的句子继续说 In one study, participants stated that they used to enjoy reading for pleasure, but could no longer concentrate on books. 那么在一项的研究里面发现呢，这些参与者觉得以前 used to 以前常常可以享受阅读的乐趣，但是现在发现呢，却再也没有办法专注于书本。那么在这样子的情况之下呢，我们第四题可以选择 sentence A。Instead, they preferred just scanning online text. 在这里的 they 指的就是前面的这些 participants 没有办法专注在书籍上，相对的呢，则是呢选择喜欢阅读网络上面的这些文字。Scan 则是有呢快速的浏览的意思。搭配文意，第四题的标准答案我们就选择 A 选项。最后一段的第一个句子提到 Scientists are still investigating how remembering things differently will affect our brains in the long run. 其实科学家们还在研究不同方式的记忆事情呢，长期下来会怎么样的影响我们的大脑。搭配这样的文意，第五题我们可以选择 sentence B。B 选项里面提到To live in this rapidly changing world, we need to learn how technology can improve our experiences and how it can inhibit them. 在这里提到的是，居住在这个快速转变的世界当中呢，我们也需要学会这个科技啊是如何的改善了我们的经验，而同时也如何的抑制了这些。 Inhibit 指的是有抑制跟禁止的意思，这也就回应前面的讲到科学家还在研究调查当中。 OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Thanks for joining us, guys. Remember how paying too much attention to your phone or taking too many photos while you're experiencing something great will kind of leave you with less memories in the future. So focus. Try to use your brain a little bit more and try to memorize more things by heart. I think it'll help us all.
Yeah, I doubt our lesson today is going to change anything. People are just addicted to those phones too much. Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Thank you for coming with us, and please join us again next time. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.